When you first start Social Security, a lot of people ask me, should I go ahead and sign up in November, December? Is it easier just to wait till January? It's easier just to wait till January. I don't give a lot of concrete answers like that, but that is an easy concrete one. But most people don't have that luxury. A lot of times you get laid off or you're fired or sick, or you have to retire when you have to retire. But if you do have a choice and you can kind of choose to, it's great to do it at the beginning of the year. If you're under your full retirement age, we have something called the first year rule, the Social Security grace rule. People call it different things. Special earnings rule, they call it different things. But if I start my Social Security this year, let's say I start in the middle of the year, that's when it worked out for me. I retired in the middle of the year. I've already made $50,000 the first 6 months of the year. Am I going to be in trouble? Because I know that the Social Security earned income limit in 2025 is $23,400. And I'm already over it. And I know if I go over it, for every $2 I go over it, they reduce my Social Security by $1. So am I already going to be in a debt situation with Social Security? Should I not apply? So if you're under your full retirement age, this is the special grace rule that if you apply in the middle of the year, anytime after the first of the year, they're going to totally disregard everything you made prior to starting Social Security. So you made 50 grand, just ignore it. I don't care how much you made prior. I only care how much you make once you start drawing. Now, I said the annual earned income limit for 2025 is $23,400 gross income. If you're watching this in another year, that goes up slightly every year. Get my free Social Security cheat sheet. The link is in the bio. It'll tell you what the exact amounts are for the year you're watching this video. So if I start in the middle of the year, they prorate it, and now instead of it being an annual test, now it's a monthly test. So as long as I keep my income each month for the rest of this year to the monthly prorated amount, so it'd be $1,950 gross monthly income. Again, if you exceed that, then for every $2 you go over, they'll reduce it $1, and you could get in a overpayment situation. So always keep them up to date on your income so you don't get in an overpayment situation. You can update that, your earnings, expected earnings on your socialsecurity.gov account. So as long as I stay under $1,950 each month for the rest of the year, then no problem. And then starting next year, I have an annual limit. So I could earn the whole limit so we'll say next year it's going to be $24,000. It's going to be close to that. $24,000. A lot of people say, well, could I just work for 2 or 3 months, earn the $24,000, and then stop working for the rest of the year? Yeah, you can do that. The second year, because now they're grading you on an annual basis versus the first year. Again, it's only if you're under your full retirement age. If you're at your full retirement age, you can make as much money as you want from any source for the rest of your life. This is only for people that are younger than their full retirement age. And again, I go into this in a lot more detail in my book. Head on over to Amazon, type in Medicare Mama. I'll go into all the details of the things you're saying, well, why isn't she talking about that? You can find it there. So if you start under your full retirement age, mid-year, which means anytime past the first of the year, it's monthly prorated. The second year, then we're annual. And like I said, some people just kind of, stay annually to try to stay under that. People always ask me, how many hours a week can I work? It's not an hourly limit. It is a gross annual limit. So you could make the whole $4,000 in January. Just don't make any more the rest of the year. Don't make any more of active income that counts against your Social Security earned income limit. Remember the difference between passive and active income. There's lots and lots of sources of passive income that will not reduce your Social Security. Again, this is only an issue when you're under your full retirement age. Once you hit that, we don't care about active and passive. But it's a big deal because most people take their Social Security prior to their full retirement age. About 30% of people take it at age 62, and they really need to drill down and understand the Social Security earned income limit, and specifically active income, what counts. Basically W-2 income, 1099, self-employed, net, gross if it's W-2. And what doesn't count, interest, dividends, alimony, K-1, on and on and on. Royalties, rents. Rents are a little weird. I go into rents in more detail because if you're actively involved as a renter or a realtor, that goes over here back to passive where it does count. But if you just have something that you have a property manager and you're not really active, that's passive. That doesn't count. So do not take your Social Security early. By early, I mean any age prior to your full retirement age, unless you fully understand the earned income limit, because there's so much sad stories out there. 60 Minutes has done like 2 major specials on people that owe the Social Security Administration tens of thousands of dollars. And then they're not able to live on their benefit because now half of their benefit's going back to the government for the repayment of this debt that had they understood the rule better, they could have avoided. So I hope you learned something today. If you need help with Social Security, you can't call me. You can't call the Medicare family. We help with Medicare insurance. I like to educate you guys on all these things because the topics do dovetail. But if you need help with Social Security, you will have to tough it out with the government. Call their 800 number early in the morning. They are Eastern Standard Time. Be prepared to wait. You can also check out more information on their website. If you do need help with Medicare, which typically people retiring going on Social Security do, that's what our family does. We've done it for tens of thousands of people in all 50 states. Go to the MedicareFamily.com. You can book your own appointment. We'd love to help you. If you learned something today, please give me a follow. If you like this video, you might really like this video. Check it out. And we'd appreciate if you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a great video. We put out one every week. Check in the description below this video for a link to our cheat sheet on Social Security and Medicare. And you can also give us a comment. If you have a specific question, always feel free to call us or email us at the Medicare Family.